Good morning class 8. Now we are moving on to lesson 2, population dynamics. In this lesson we are going to know about human resources, which are the most important resource for a country, because humans are the consumers, producers and creators. The way the people are distributed all over the world is known as pattern of distribution of population. So this pattern of distribution of population depends on various factors like climate of a place or geographical distribution of a place or job opportunities, so many factors. Different regions will be having different kinds of population. On the basis of different factors, the population is divided into underpopulation and overpopulation. Underpopulation means population is more than its resources, and overpopulation means population is less than its resources. In countries with underpopulation, people tend to come into the country, immigrate to the country, and in countries with overpopulation, people tend to move out of country because of various reasons, maybe health or education or any other reason. Coming to distribution of population. On the basis of distribution of population, density of population means how many people are living in one square unit or a unit area. So the world is divided into three. One is areas of low density, moderate density and high density. In areas of low density, maybe 1 or 2 people or less than 2 people will be living. Normally in cold or hot deserts where you do not have more people living in, or dispersed settlements, areas of low density will be. Examples of areas of low density: Greenland, Antarctica, etc. Next is areas of moderate density. Places like India, moderate density. So in these places, for every unit area, 100 to 200 people will be living in. Here you have good conditions for living, abundant water supply, and mostly nucleated settlements will be there in areas of moderate density. Areas of high density. In areas of high density, mostly here linear settlements and nucleated settlements will be there, where you have abundant water supply, more job opportunities, good health conditions. So areas of high density: China, northern part of America, Europe, all these are areas of high density. Now coming to impact of overpopulation and underpopulation. Overpopulation, we have depletion of natural resources. That means natural resources keep on decreasing very faster in overpopulated countries because they use it very more. Degradation of environment because of pollution and more of greenhouse gases, there will be degradation of environment. And next one is rise in unemployment. Rise in unemployment because more number of people and less number of jobs, rise in unemployment. And impact of underpopulation, lack of adequate manpower. Manpower will be less than what is needed. Underutilization of resources. Resources will be more, people will be less, so there will be underutilization of resources. Lack of people to defend the country. There will be no people to defend the country when in need of wars. Now there are three major factors affecting the population of a country. One is better food supplies. You have more better food supply, people come in more. Health facilities, better health facilities, more people coming in. Cheap goods, more people come in more. Example is China. You have number of Chinese goods, people start using it, and industrialization also will be more in that country. And next one we go is migration. Migration is also a factor for change in population. So migration is divided into internal and international. Internal means within the country, and international means changing the borders of a country. I mean going out of the border of a country, it's international. So generally international migration happens from low developed countries to high developed countries. Next we are going to see composition of population. In composition of population we are going to see everything about population, like how many males are there, how many females are there, how many people are educated and how many are not, what race to what race they belong, etc. So this is composition of population. Next is population pyramid, which is also known as age-sex pyramid. How many males are there, how many females are there, what is their ratio, in what ages. So this pyramid shows the number of males, the number of females and their birth rate and death rate also. In each of the country we have different birth rates and death rates. In the first case, the birth rate is more and death rate also is more. So we have a population pyramid like this. These are places like Kenya. In the second case, the population pyramid is not very broad at the end, not very broad at the base. As it comes to the end, it becomes thinner. So these are countries like India. All mostly developing countries have this kind of population pyramid. And last one, less birth rate and death rate also will be less. Places like Japan will be having this kind of population pyramid. And next one is rural and urban population. Today 55% of people are living in urban cities. Now by 2050, 68% of population is projected to come to urban cities, right? By 2030, 43 mega cities are expected to come up. By 2028, just in a span of 9 years, Delhi is expected to be the most populous city. Because of this urban population, pollution is getting up, pollution is increasing, and most people are just coming into the cities for their livelihood. One advantage is there, one disadvantage is there. Some advantages are there, some disadvantages are there. We will be going to see the advantages and disadvantages in our next lesson. Hope the lesson is understood. Thank you.